Welcome to Turn a Light On. My name is Brittany, and I am a survivor of sexual abuse. I am also a survivor of child abuse as well. Um, I created Turn a Light On as a nonprofit online advocacy program in a way to help other victims cross that threshold to survivor on their own terms and to help them come to the realization that your experience is different from everybody else's experience and you need to cope on your own and you need to cross that threshold when it's your time to cross that threshold. Everyone reaches differently and we can do so many things different, but for this episode, I really want to talk about the many types of sexual violence. But guys, please hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. And you can share these videos. It is very important that we make this cause. And show what it's like and be a voice for people, be a voice for the victims. And when they're ready to become a survivor at their own point, we can do this. Now, as I said, for this episode, I'm going to talk briefly about the different types of sexual violence without going into too much details. This is a trigger episode, so I hope that if you're not ready, please don't. Please go ahead and just click past it. But if you are ready, I'm here for you. You can send me a private email. You can email me, and I will, or find me on Instagram or Facebook, and I promise you, I will respond. Now, the term sexual violence is an all-encompassing, non-legal term that refers to crimes like SA, rape, SA, and rape. Now, many of these crimes can be described below, and please note there are many legal definitions of the crimes that vary from state to state. I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to go ahead and disclose that. I am just talking about the different ones, different types of sexual assault and sexual violence. So, the first one is obviously sexual assault, and this can take many forms and be defined in many different ways. But one thing remains, it is never the victim's fault. Never. The next one is child sexual abuse. And this is when a perpetrator intentionally harms a minor physically, psychologically, sexually, or by acts of neglect. And the crime is known as child abuse. Sexual assault on men and boys. And this is men and boys who have been sexually assaulted or abused may also face some additional challenges because of their social attitude and stereotypes about men and masculinity. The next one is an intimate partner sexual violence, and this is when a perpetrator can have any relationship to a victim, and that includes the role of an intimate partner. The next one, I don't think I really have to go into detail, but this is incest. And regardless of how the law defines incest, unwanted sexual contact from a family member can have a long lasting effect on a survivor. Next, we have drug facilitated sexual assault. And please remember, you are not to blame. You are the only one allowed to make choices for your body. And I'm going to talk about consent in the next episode, but silence is not consent. Unless you physically say yes, it is not consent. If you feel like you are forced to say yes, it is not consent. Then there is sexual harassment. And this is one of those things that you should be comfortable where you're at and not have to worry about sexual harassment. Then there's the next one, adult survivors of child sexual abuse. And the sad part is, I heard the stat that many survivors of child sexual abuse go on to become the abuser. And I hate that. I really do. But in our society, it's what we've been conditioned. We don't know a way of coping, and I'm hoping that we live for this generation and we can keep educating and learning and just moving forward. But many perpetrators of sexual abuse are in a position of trust and responsible of a child's care, such as a family member, teacher, clergyman, coach. Other children, such as other siblings. Next is using technology to harm others. And this can include such as digital photos, video, apps, social media to engage in harassing, unsolicited, or non-consensual sexual interactions. Then there's sexual abuse by medical professions. Sadly, this happens. Then there's sexual exploitation for helping professionals. Then there's a multiple perpetrator sexual abuse. I'm not going to go, this is called a gang rape, but that's all I'm going to go into detail. Then there's elder abuse. Then there's sexual abuse for people with disabilities, prisoner rape, military sexual trauma, and legal role. And this also brings into play a legal role of consent. This is like many definitions like rape, sexual assault, sexual abuse. And again, they vary from state to state, and I'm not a lawyer. But consent often plays an important role in determining whether an act is legally considered a crime. But that is it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day.